So hi everybody. I mean, thanks for coming by. I'm Randy Price, Senior Vice President at ArenaNet. This is Eric Lanham, our Guild Wars 2 lead designer, and Matthew Moore. Matthew is one of our QA leads. So, I mean, this is day 4 of Gamescom. This has been an unbelievably awesome show for us. I love it that you guys actually haven't seen much Guild Wars 2. We'll walk you through the demo. I'd love to kind of get you guys feel, what you think about afterwards. It's going to be fun to gauge people's reactions. You guys probably will give you a little bit of history about Guild Wars 1 and how this ties together, how it fits together from a lore standpoint, and why we're here at Gamescom. Let me point out that we're actually not doing this demo alone. We actually have over 200 of our colleagues. So over 200 of our colleagues at ArenaNet in Bellevue, Washington. They're actually playing this game live with us, everybody on the floor. We've got, of course, when we're out in the persistent world, and we're going to be playing with all of our fans and also everybody from ArenaNet. So our entire studio is on Cologne time the entire 5 days. We shift, so essentially it's like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. there right now, and everybody's going to be playing through the night. It's pretty cool. They're doing a huge LAN party back there. We got tons of food and drinks, and just turning into a lot of fun. So Matthew's actually got his headset on, and he'll periodically be checking in with them because we've got a dynamic world out there, and we never know exactly what's going on. It's for us to go out and explore. It helps us go through the demo if Matthew's able to kind of get a little heads up, okay, what's going on. There's a couple things in particular we'd love to show you, and if Matthew is getting the word that something's going on, we'll go check it out. So, Guild Wars 1, it's sold over 6 million copies worldwide. Half of that's been in Europe. Germany and all of Europe, we have some massive fandom, and for us, it's absolutely awesome to be here at Gamescom. We strategically decided that this is where we wanted to unveil Guild Wars 2 for the first time, and let our fans over here really kind of make sure everybody understands how much care and attention that we give to our European community. Guild Wars 2 takes place about 250 years after the events of Guild Wars 1. What's gone on in the world in those intervening years is that the world has had some dormant elder dragons. They've been asleep, and they've essentially awoken the world. They've awoken the world, and they've corrupted the land. They've done things like changed continents where cities have come up from the water, reshaped the land. They've branded and seared and corrupted different parts of the map. We'll actually show you one of those. It's only going to be through the efforts of the 5 playable races in Guild Wars 2, where those races have to come together in some fashion to be able to defeat the Elder Dragons. And we actually our character plays a central role in this entire experience. We tell the story of your character as well, the story where you actually act and act in a way to try to bridge the races together. So, when we go through the demo, we're actually going to play the human starting experience. We're also going to play a higher level experience for our Char race. The Char were the antagonists in Guild Wars 1. The Char are a warmongering, ferocious feline race. We'll check them out. I've killed thousands of Char in my life. This guy's killed millions of Char in his life. And it's really fun in Guild Wars 2, the fact that essentially Guild Wars 1 we had the human experience and all sorts of professions and things you could do, but human was the playable race, and that was the central focal point. The humans are in retreat in Guild Wars 2 and have been pushed back by the Char and by other activities going on in the world, and they essentially, now we've opened it up and we can have an experience with the humans, Char, also the Asura, the Norn, and a newer race to the world, the Silvari. So kind of with that backdrop, I want to kind of really tell you guys about the 3 main things I want you to be looking for in the demo. And Eric's going to talk a lot about it when he gets into gameplay as well. I want you to think about our dynamic event system. Dynamic event system is where organically in the world you will see things going on, you will hear things going on, and you as a player can choose whether or not you want to go and experience it. It is very different from your typical quest chain. We have innovated in a way where actually we've done away with your typical going up to an NPC, clicking on it, confronted with a wall of text that you don't even read. It says go kill 10 of something, and you go out and you see 10 of something in the field, and you kill them, and then you go back to the quest giver and turn it in, confront with another wall of text that you don't read. We've put that all to the side and thrown that out. I mean, for us, it's about innovating in the genre, doing things, getting people to play in a way that is enjoyable to them. Again, we're getting rid of the mundane tasks that have plagued MMOs. This game is about also bringing the RPG back to what it means to be an MMORPG. So this ties into the second thing I want you to be looking for, and that's your personal story. We do things in the game where, starting with character creation, we'll walk through character creation, where you're going to set a foundation for your character that actually helps to craft what your story is. And it branches. Based upon decisions you make, the story can branch in many different ways. Then you're out in the world, and your story will continue, and it will continue to branch in many different ways. The story of your character will be dramatically different than your friends' characters. You know, if you change races as well, you'll be playing completely different storylines.
Are they layered, or are they not dynamically changing?
Your storyline, when you make choices, they actually permanently affect and continue down that path. We use essentially, we'll talk about this when we get in there, but we actually use strategic instancing and have a home place where we're telling your story. We're out in the world, these events are going on, they do chain together. Events that occur, there's consequences, and new events open up based upon what's going on. And that's going on out in the persistent world. Third thing I want you to, of course, concentrate on, and Eric will get into the detail of this, but we want visually compelling, visceral combat. And this is particularly even when we get in the char area, we'll really dive into how that works. So let's dive into the character creation. So again, human starting experience is where we're going now. We've got 8 professions in Guild Wars 2. Warrior and the Ranger, Necromancer, and Elementalist are the 4 that we've announced so far. We're going to play an Elementalist, so Matthew, choose Elementalist. Character customization is a big deal for us. And right now we're randomly selecting the characters. We just don't have the time to spend showing everybody all the kind of options and details. A lot of people want to play around with that. There'll be a time in the future where we'll really show this off to you. So now we're to what I think is the coolest part of character creation. That is, you are going to now go through a series of questions that start creating your biography and your background and history. Again, and this will tie into what we actually see and do out in the world as we play through our personal story. So the first question deals with a visual accompaniment to our character. The next one ties into our personality and our personality system. Are we predisposed to use charm, or dignity, or ferocity? This is a type of question that will impact even the opening cinematic for Guild Wars, for the human race, and for Guild Wars 2. Your personality can change and evolve over time based upon decisions you make. You'll be confronted with all sorts of moral dilemmas. You'll be whether or not to save somebody or let them die for a different reason. Those kinds of things will start to craft and culture what your personality is. And NPCs will react differently. The world may react differently to you based upon your personality. The next question is about how you were raised. Were you raised among common folk? Were you raised among the nobility, or were you raised in the streets? And this also, we'll see how this also, there's different things that even in our little storyline will be different based upon making this choice. We're going to choose common folk. And a couple other questions that have longer, further reaching effects into the storyline. And this ends up being, again, your starting place, that foundation. We've got now a brief summary, a biography of where you are and the decisions you've made so far. Matthew's including his name for purposes of this demo. And now we're going to see the opening cinematic for Human Race in Guild Wars 2.
The human race once ruled Tyria. Now, we struggle to hold our ground. We've been defeated, driven back, been broken, but we will not surrender. So many nations have fallen. Only Kryta still stands. Our faith is strong, despite the silence of the six gods. With courage, we'll make our stand in Divinity's reach.
Based on our choice to be the common folk, this cinematic is not customized to you.
The city is my home. I was born to common folk, just one among many. My friends and I don't seek attention or glory. It's hard enough making ends meet. But I believe we can still shape a brighter world out of the ashes of the past. Today, I stepped outside of Divinity's reach to see the world. But when I arrived in Shaymore, the town was under siege by centaurs. Innocent villagers are in danger. Someone has to help. We can't go on living our lives in fear. I have to fight. I have to make a stand. This is my story.
I'm going to hand it over to Eric in just a moment here. One other thing I really want to point out to you is our art style. We have over 70 artists at ArenaNet, and their whole goal and objective is to create an extremely handcrafted, painterly world. That the way that we've designed the cinematics are even there to really be able to show off our incredible concept art and kind of combine. You see 3D elements with 3D modeling with 2D concept art out in the world, the care and attention to detail that our artists take. You can even see it in the UI, the brush strokes and painterly fashion of it. Eric's going to drive you through a few different vistas and places that really show off the care and attention to detail that artists put into the game. So anyway, let's turn it over and jump right in.
Okay. I need your help. So this is kind of our tutorial experience. You can see the green starburst. Anytime you see that, it means that we're continuing our personal story.
Everybody get to the end.
We'll talk to Corporal Byrne here, and he'll tell us we know what's going on. There are centaurs attacking the town. And as we start our combat here, you'll notice a few things. First off, there's no auto attack. So when you use a skill, that's when you attack. Matthew can, if he wants to, right-click a skill and set that skill to repeat automatically. But what we wanted was our combat to feel a little bit more action-oriented, a little bit more involved, so that you don't feel like you're just standing there while your character is doing something and have no real control over it. The other thing to notice is our movement and our emphasis on positioning in combat. So you notice Matthew dodging around a lot to avoid enemy attacks. He does that simply by double tapping in a direction, and then he'll dodge in that direction. You also notice that he can use a lot of his skills on the move. We do that because, again, we want our combat to be flowing. We want it to be very much about movement and positioning. We found that if we have a lot of skills that cause you to have to stand in place, then what that does is it just kind of discourages you from moving around, and we didn't want that in combat. We wanted also to put you in a situation that felt very immediately dangerous, where you felt like you were a hero doing heroic things. We didn't want our tutorial to kind of start out really soft. We wanted to put you right in the middle of the action. So.
You must be the lifesaver everyone's talking about. Whoever you are, thanks for sending those villagers here. We'll keep them safe.
Sergeant, there are more centaurs on the other side of town. Captain Thacker is calling for reinforcements at the garrison.
If he's calling for help, it must be serious, but I can't spare anyone.